I'm going to check out this S&B 762 by 39. Putting it through my Anderson here today. It's just factory mil spec, 16-inch, non-free floated. Just got a little, I think that's a 4 to 12. It might be a 3 to 9. Let me see here, 3 to 9. Gonna sheet these, see how they do. Group out at 100 yards. There's your stats there. Advertised 2421 feet per second. Muzzle velocity 1614 foot-pounds of energy with 100 yards zero. Your 5.7 low at 200, 21 low at 300. Now I was aiming at the bottom dot on that top target there, and you can kind of see two of the shots, and one you won't be able to see till I show till the end of the video. Now here I go for the red oval dead center of that target. And we're going to shoot a few groups in this video because I was not happy with the results. I got one really good group, but you'll see. And that shot actually went dead center. Now that's not too bad there, just shy of a 2-inch group, but watch what happens with the next shot. Well, then that fifth shot's right back up there in that nice little sub 2-inch group. So did I pull the fourth shot? Let's shoot some more groups to find out. And here, it may not look like it, but I'm aiming at the top little red dot. And that's about a 3-inch up and down string there with not a single one being anywhere near the bullseye. Made some light adjustments on the scope, and then I went for the dot on the left there. Now that's more like it. That is no more than a 1-inch group down there at 100 yards with 3 shots. Not being able to believe that after the previous 3 groups, I decided to take one more at that top dot. Being irked off at that first shot there was like 3 inches off to the right. I just rushed the next 3 shots, and when you know it, my rush shots did better. About well, 2-inch or slightly less down there. But as you can see, those 3 shots that grouped 1 inch on that left dot, that was just a fluke. Now I previously tested Bellum brass and Norma tactical brass, and both of those performed very well through this exact same rifle with a cheap scope on top. I was getting around 1-inch groups at 100 yards with those, so I had a hard time believing that this S&B brass would perform that poorly. It was also odd that I got that one group that was 1 inch down there. So, I was wondering if maybe there was an issue with the scope. But I shook it and I didn't hear anything loose or rattling like I've heard on bad scopes before. And I also did a little trick I picked up along the lines. A lot of times if your scope isn't holding 0, If you look through it and hold the gun dead steady, if you dry fire it over and over, you can see the reticle shift up, down, left, right, whatever. I dry fired it about a dozen times, and not once did that reticle move. And lastly, if further verification was needed, Paul Harrell did a two-part series testing a bunch of 7.62 by 39 ammo. And in that first video of that series, he tested this exact ammunition, and it was one of the worst performers. He also did velocity tests on them and had an extreme spread of over 200 feet per second, which is a huge difference. 200 feet per second difference on something that's barely over 2,000 feet per second, that's close to a 10% difference in velocity. Even down here at 100 yards, that's going to make, at least a couple inches difference between the velocity. The lowest was like 2,117 feet per second, and the fastest was like 2,342. So just that alone there is going to cause, about a 2-inch variance, if not more. So that's probably part of the story down here at 100 yards with these groups. This right here is going to help demonstrate that a little bit. All right, we're going to try out 300 yards now. 20-inch steel gong.
Let me know when you're ready. I'm ready. Okay.
This is a continuation of the 300-yard shots. I was doing it from the side here so you could see I was actually getting the hits with the rifle, hoping that you could hear it ding against the plate. I was using my bigger, larger, heavier 3/8 inch, 20-inch gong to be sure that I could hit it. So it's a little harder to hear the impacts.
I feel like going to the hardware store and getting a couple of screwdrivers.
So surprisingly, every single one of those was a hit. I almost missed with two. One hit the very top, one hit the very bottom, as you can see there. Pretty much all those hits towards the center and the center right side of the plate there were from the 7.62 by 39 at this outing with that S&B ammunition. So you should be able to see the pattern there of the huge spread up and down at 300 yards. Now that's a 20-inch plate, so I basically have a 20-inch variance as to where it'll hit in an up and down area due to the inconsistent loading, the velocity between each one that I just discussed. There's not so much of a left and right variance. Looks to be about 6 or 7 inches across at the worst. But you got a 20-inch up and down spread. So this certainly seems to reflect the results that Paul got, and also the results I was seeing on the paper there at 100 yards. So unfortunately, this is just not the greatest stuff. At least not in 7.62 by 39. My buddy's Savage Axis 2 and 6.5 Creed using this S&B, same color box and everything. Super, super accurate in 6.5 Creed. We were getting sub-MOA groups with this stuff. Thanks for watching, guys. If you want to get yourself any of the products you see me use in the videos, like the shooting bags, steel targets, and more, links in the description. Hope to catch you on the next one.